Hey guys, what's going on? Cameron here with the Lawn Care Life in Mowssouri. I appreciate you stopping by the channel. If you're new to the channel, hey, thanks a lot. Hit that like button if you enjoyed the videos. If you want to see more content, be sure to hit that subscribe button so you'll be notified when future videos come out. If you're returning to the channel and you've been here before, you guys know me. You guys know what the channel is all about. I appreciate the continued support, but enough talking, man. Let's dive right in to today's video. Alright guys, first things first, getting the Ferris Z3X out of here, out of the box truck. We have the Umount Blower mounted on the front. We're going to be using that today to blow those leaves around. I'm going to hop up in here in the box truck real quick, get the Echo PB8010 blower. It's cold today in Mowssouri. It's like 20 degrees, real feels like 10, so it's going to take a few cranks to get this thing started up, and I'm going to let it warm up for a little bit. And then once it's kind of ready to roll, we'll get back on the zero turn and we'll head back to the back of the property here. I'll show you guys more about this property. We're going to be doing a leaf cleanup today. We're going to be using the Ferris Z3X, the Umount Blower, Echo PB8010. We're going to blow these leaves around, mulch some up. Some we're going to push to the front of the street, come back later and suck those leaves up. But everything from my right here, we're not going to handle, we're not going to take care of, but everything to my left, right over here, we're going to blow those leaves around. So I'm at the back of this little shop right now. It's super wet, can't get a mower in there, so I'm having to blow all the leaves out away from the shop, get everything ready to roll for the mower and the Umount blower. Over here to the side of the property, we got a fence line, we've got like a laundry line over here, everything kind of in the way. This wooden privacy fence, and in between that and the house, real tight area, couldn't get the mower in there, so having to get the PB8010 back in here to blow those leaves out. It's a little tricky, man. This area right here, you can tell they haven't taken care of the leaves in this particular area for a long time. A lot of wet leaves, a lot of deteriorated leaves. This is probably just a wet area in general, so the leaves that do land here definitely packed together and they're super wet, so a little hard to get out of here, but hey, we got them out of there. Now taking the Ferris mower, pushing these leaves back over here to this kind of the open area of the property. And once I push these leaves over here, I'm going to come back and get some more and do the same thing. But basically I took all those leaves that were to the side over there by the fence and in between the fence and the house. I piled them up as much as I could. Once the blower kind of isn't doing the job anymore, you're not moving those leaves very fast, it's a good time to hop on the mower and push those pile of leaves over into the open areas so we can mulch them later. So that's just what I'm doing right now. Just moving those leaves over there and getting the big pile of leaves anyway and getting those moved over to the open lot. So about done here. Hop back on the blower. It's a little bit more efficient to blow those leaves up in another pile. Just basically trying to get everything away from the house, away from the fence, so I can crank up this Umount blower and use this big blower to blow all these leaves instead of walking back and forth with carrying the backpack blower. So you guys will see it real quick. I didn't get a video of the nozzle, but on this Umount blower you can move the nozzle back and forth. I have a little toggle switch on my right side here, and I'm moving the toggle switch left, I'm moving it right, and so when I'm moving the mower around, I'm able to direct the wind and that nozzle exactly where I want to. So I can move the mower around to my left over here, point the nozzle back to my right. I'm able to blow those leaves where they need to go. I'm trying to take them, like I said, to the empty lot over there right in front of me. That's where I'm trying to go with all these leaves. So I'll just work my way back and forth here, just riding the mower around, pointing that Umount blower nozzle in the direction that I need to go, and just working my way back and forth here, trying to get this area right here cleaned up. So typically I would mulch these leaves in this area because I have some really nice grass here. It's thick. It'll mulch really well, but the customer didn't want the leaves mulched, so not in the yard anyways. They didn't care if they were mulched over here in this empty lot, wooded area. But just, you know, around the yard here by the house, they didn't want the leaves mulched up. So I'm basically directing my nozzle right now on this Umount blower, and I'm blowing these leaves to that empty lot. So this area right here with this little gazebo or bench area, it's kind of hard to get in there to blow those leaves. So I'll have to hop off the mower here in a minute and get the PB8010 out and blow those leaves out from that area. But man, it works really well with the Umount blower, just blowing those leaves around. You can tell I'm going back and forth right now with the nozzle, just basically fanning those leaves so I can direct them over there to that empty lot. But it's working really well. I didn't know what to expect coming into this one. It's rained for the last 2 weeks or so, so I've really had to wait a little bit for it to dry out, and then it got super cold, so everything's frozen right now. So like I said before, taking the PB8010, getting in those tight areas around the house, around this little gazebo area, in the plants over here where I can't get the mower, just getting those leaves blown out enough where I can take the mower and the blower and get back after it, push those leaves to the side. But it's kind of a pain getting into some of these real tight areas. I'm getting over here closer to the house now. There's actually some leaves up on the deck, which I didn't get in the video, but I go up on the deck, blow the leaves down, and then there's kind of a tight area right there where the air conditioner's at. It's kind of, everything's kind of piled up there. We got some plants over here that leaves are kind of hanging up on, but it's time to crank the Umount blower back up. I'm going to hop on the 0 turn, and this is basically really easy right now, just moving the mower back and forth, blowing those leaves to my left. One of the things I will mention, and you can kind of look to the right now, and you can kind of see all the leaves, or the areas that I was trying to blow those leaves out. I mean, you had the steps to deal with, you had the air conditioner, and then you have this little landscape bed to my right with a few plants and a few things, bird bath, a few things to kind of work around. So this is not one of my properties that I take care of during the regular season, so I don't know what to expect when I get in here. You know, when you're getting into an area where the leaves have fell and they've piled up and they haven't been taken care of for the last 2-3 months, there's no telling what's underneath. I mean, we have all these big oak trees here. We could have a lot of big limbs under there, and we could have, you know, rocks or bricks or just whatever. This is definitely one of those yards that's not really taken care of in the fall and winter months. You can tell. You can just tell. So that's one of the things that I'm kind of cautious and leery about when I'm hopping on a new property and they ask me to mulch the leaves. You never know what's under there. Like right now, I found this garden hose. It's a pretty big hose. I mean, if the leaves were piled up enough to where this garden hose was hiding underneath, thankfully it's a bright color. I can kind of see it peeking under the leaves there. But if not, you know, you're mulching those leaves. Next thing you know, you hit this garden hose that's laying underneath this pile of leaves. You've got a mess. You can damage your equipment. You can mess your mowers up. So if it's an area where, or if it's a regular customer where I always take care of their lawn, I know what's in the lawn, I know what to look for, then it's a lot quicker to mulch those leaves most of the time. But for one-time customers and those that I get calls from during the fall and winter months to do leaf cleanup, 9 times out of 10, if it's a lawn like this, unless it's a nice manicured lawn where you can tell that they've taken care of it, you know, weekly, this is just kind of an area where there's a lot of debris in the yard. There's acorns, there's sticks, there's nuts, there's rocks, there's garden hoses. If it's an area like this, I definitely would rather get the mowers out, blow the leaves away from the yard, and suck them up and haul them off with the BillyGoat blower or the debris loader. But every yard is different, man. Every yard is different. So each yard you kind of have to look at and say, you know, is this a nice manicured lawn? Can I mulch these leaves up? Or is this a yard that needs to be, you know, strictly blown and pushed to the curb so I can suck them up? So right now, I basically have the area that I need blown up, and I've got a pile of leaves here that I'm going to mulch. I'm just showing you guys how thick that pile is and how long that pile is. So going back and forth here, showing you guys the pile of leaves that I'm about to mulch up. So everything to my right is basically another property. Everything where the mower's at and to the left is basically their property. So I'm going to mulch all those leaves up here on the edge of their property. Hopping on the other mower right quick, cranking it up, and then you'll see what the Ferris Z3X with the 37 horsepower Vanguard is able to do. Now these leaves are wet, they're thick, but you see a whole lot of dust coming from, surprisingly. I thought it was going to be really wet, but man, the dust flying from these leaves is just unbelievable. It's a mess. It's nasty. Mulching leaves is definitely a lot nastier than blowing the leaves to the curb and sucking them up with the BillyGoat. But it's basically how much does a customer want to pay, what's their budget, and how can we do that efficiently and profitably. So budget was a little low on this one. If it would have been higher, we could have pushed these leaves to the curb and sucked them up, but their budget was a little lower, so we're just trying to help them out, you know. Not everyone's going to want their leaves mulched. Not everyone's going to want their leaves completely removed, so it's just up to the customer and up to their budget. So we just kind of work that in and find something that fits for the both of us. So basically right now I'm taking all the leaves that are in the front yard, mulching them up real quick. And then what you don't see is on the other side of this truck right here, there's a ditch, which I didn't even realize it when I bid the job. But there's a pile of leaves about 4 feet deep and about 4 feet wide and probably 20 or 30 feet long. And it just looks like the yard's flat there. But once you start blowing those leaves around, you notice there's a deep ditch there. So I had to blow all those leaves from on the other side of that truck and into the driveway, and then I'm kind of pushing them with the mower here to this front yard and mulching them all up. So there's a pile of leaves over here, man. I mean, they are deep. And that's one thing about bidding a property. You definitely want to walk around it and check out every area. It was raining for the past 2 weeks, so I really didn't have a nice day to get out and check this property out. The customer was wanting these leaves removed like as soon as possible. We had a good day for it. The wind wasn't too bad, so I thought, you know, I'm going to get out here and knock it out real quick. But you definitely want to check out the entire property before you send an estimate and before you get that work done. But this is just one of the areas that I failed to look at. I was mainly focused on behind the house and to the side where I'm parked over here. Really wasn't concerned a whole lot with that other side, but it really surprised me. I mean, I'm blowing a whole lot of leaves out of there, blowing them to the front yard, and eventually get the mower back out, mulch them all up. And then I'm to the point now where I've mulched up so many leaves in this area right here. There's a lot of mulched up leaves on the lawn, so I'm blowing them up into this pile by the curb. And then once I get done doing that, I'll leave with the box truck. I'll come back with the pickup truck and debris loader. So here I am. I'm back. And I'm ready to suck those leaves up. So it doesn't look like much in this video. I wish I would have had a little bit different camera angle to show you just how deep and just how thick these leaves are. But really shaded area. I wanted to get a little bit of sunlight in there so I could get it on video. But here I am with the BillyGoat 37 horsepower Vanguard EFI engine, sucking those leaves up, throwing them in the back of the dump trailer, and it doesn't take long at all. The most time-consuming part is either mulching up the leaves or pushing those leaves to the curb. But once you get them pushed to the curb, this is probably 20 or 30 minutes to suck the leaves up. So it's easy to get those leaves sucked up, but it's time-consuming to get them to the curb. So about to finish up here. Hope you guys enjoyed this video of the leaf cleanup. That's how we do it here in Mowssouri. Every leaf cleanup's different, so not every one of them will be like this, but this is just kind of how this particular job ended up for us. All right, guys, I appreciate you watching the video. I hope you enjoyed the content. Like I said before, if you do like the content and you want to subscribe and be notified of future videos, be sure to hit that subscribe button, hit the bell so you'll be notified of all the upcoming videos. But thanks again for watching. I'm Cameron with the Lawn Care Life in Mowssouri. Hope you guys are having a good day, man. And as always, hey, God provides.